Hey everybody, it is April 4th. I'm Adam and this is your daily dose of today. Today I want to continue what I left off with yesterday, and that is seeking out a Sherpa or somebody to help you through whatever it is that you're trying to go after in life. When we talked yesterday that learning and education is great, and as a matter of fact, it is essential to your success. But sometimes you're just going to find yourself in the thick of it, in the middle of it, and books just don't work well to solve those issues. For instance, if I'm called tomorrow to conduct a business meeting in Japan, there's no amount of cramming and preparation I can do tonight that gets me past just a few choice words to express greetings and my appreciation in Japanese. And even at that, they'd probably be pretty hideous. But I would have to rely on somebody who's familiar with the language and the terrain and the customs to help me successfully navigate getting through there. Now, could I land? And could I, through poking around and finding my way and maybe asking a few people on the ground, could I navigate to where I was supposed to be? Probably enough. I could find enough people to speak enough English to get me where I needed to be, point me in the right direction, get me in a cab. Could I make it to my meeting? Yes. Could I conduct the meeting? Probably enough Japanese people there would understand English and perhaps be so gracious as to translate for me. But what are really the chances of me being successful if I did all that? Because that would, number one, obviously I'm vastly underprepared, and that's going to be evident to everybody I talk to, including the people I'm trying to conduct business with. Also, I'm obviously not respecting their culture. If you know anything about the Japanese, I've probably committed 5 egregious mistakes just in doing that, and many that I'm even unaware of. So the chances of me being successful are very slim. And as a matter of fact, the longer I'm actually in Japan, probably the smaller my chances get, the longer I stay in that situation, unprepared. We're doing the same thing in life. Read and study and understand and know those are things that we should do on a continual basis to understand, and so that way we're ready for anything that gets thrown our way. And indeed, I have increased my knowledge of Japanese and stuff over the years, but it doesn't mean I'm ready to be dropped in the middle of it. I can just wing it. I am a fan of being extemporaneous and just winging it. It's how I roll. But I also realize in some situations, it just doesn't cut the mustard. It doesn't give me enough guaranteed chance for success. And remember, we spoke about being ready for the opportunities. That would be a situation where the dog caught the car, right? Car greater than dog, and it doesn't end well for the dog. And that would be me in the Japan scenario. And I feel like this is the same way that a lot of people treat the situation. Like, I'll be ready for it, and I'll just be ready to go. But they're not. Look, I'm ready at a moment to go back to Japan. I was there last year. I'm ready at a moment to go back. Because you know why? Because I know I have a network of people that I can connect with there, and they're great. Last time I was there, they treated me immensely. I mean, I felt really honestly like a rock and roll star. And these are my colleagues. They're just such gracious hosts. But I know I'm in good hands there because I have set up a network. I've made those connections that I know if I get to that point, I can navigate it. And this is the same way in your career. The thing you need to do now is actually set up those networks and those connections for whatever stage it is. You're not in Japan today. You might not even have your tickets booked. But if you know you're going, you need to work now to set those relationships. And of course, I'm speaking figuratively about Japan. But in your business life, you already have in your mind, you know where you want to get to. Right? So you need to set up the preparations now to be ready for those steps and for those journeys. So when you find in the thick of it. So you might not be ready to open an office today, but you know in your plans you're going to open your own office or someplace. Now is the time to start laying down those contacts, meeting realtors, talking to people in your local community about things going on. Understand who's moving out, who's moving in, what businesses are coming in local to your area that would make those things more advantageous, right? So these are things you got to set out now. And so that's the question you're going to ask yourself. What can I do today to ensure I'm ready for Japan when I'm called upon to go? Your figurative Japan. Start where you are. Start making that list of business contacts or of people or things you can do, communities you can socialize in, clubs you can get associated with to start building that network of support. So when you get called upon to take your next leap in your endeavors, that you're ready to execute because you have a support network. This has been your Daily Dose of Today.